Okay, unfortunately I got a little bit of a late start this morning. It's 8:17. I could have started right at 8, but I got distracted. Um, so I'm gonna need to really not let that happen because this is the uh, one of the last 4 weekends I get to study. So if I don't use every minute of every day, every second of every day I have left to study appropriately, I have less of a chance to pass, and it would be kind of sucky to not pass this test when I paid so much for it, and when I'm really not planning to take it again. So let's think about what I want to do today. So the most obvious thing I'd like to do today is get through 2 topics. I think that's more than reasonable. I'm going to have at least 8 hours today to study. I don't think it would be too hard to just put in like what I would normally put in during just like a work day, which is 8 hours. Maybe I could even do more than that. So let's take a look at what I might be able to accomplish. So I should be able to finish up internet access today, as well as VPLS. So let's have that as a goal. So this video is meant to be the first video in internet access. The only problem with that is I'm still thinking a lot about what I did yesterday. Yesterday we worked on egress node protection, but we had a problem where we couldn't form a end-to-end BGP connection because the neighbor address was showing up in the inet.3 table, but not the inet.0 table. So I was able to put the neighbor address in the inet.0 table, but once it was in the inet.0 table, now our IP addresses from our L3 VPN were in the inet.0 table, but not in the inet.3 table. Therefore, they would show up as hidden routes because they wouldn't have valid next hops. So I tried playing around with the families because I thought maybe the wrong families were included. So we can see we've got a family meant for VPN peers, just by the name here, but we don't have any inet-VPN family enabled. So to me that seems very, very wrong. Here we've got inet VPN enabled, but it's just for a point-to-point. So I don't understand yeah, I don't understand this. And then the other thing is we can take this away and just think about what the configuration is like without that, because we know we're going to need this address to show up in the inet.0 table in order to form a eBGP neighborship. We saw that in the actual lab. So maybe there's a special knob or something I can toggle so that it uses inet.3 addresses. Let's try a Google search for that. Okay, so I don't see anything popping up right away. That's just real easy. This actually looks like it might be good to go over because basically I just want to Okay, this actually looks pretty good. So let's start the video today just by what I wanted to do when I ended yesterday, which was just learning more about MPLS in general, going back over the basics, and hopefully trying to get a better sense of especially the INET.3 table. So yeah, and I even set out a book for me to go and do that. So this can be part of the internet access topic because I am going to need to set up internet access for a L3 VPN. So it's definitely related. Okay, one thing I'm very concerned about too is that my home laptop is just a budget conscious Dell Inspiron, and it doesn't work super well. Like first of all, the power cable is like really messed up. Like if it automatically like undoes itself, so I need to keep pushing it in every like few hours. And not only that, it doesn't charge the battery, it just keeps the PC on. So if it comes out, the PC immediately crashes. So that's going to be a big thing to be concerned about during the test, because if the PC immediately crashes, everything goes online, I think it's an instant fail. So I have to make sure that my PC is reliable. The other big problem with my PC is it often lags out, as what just happened there when I tried to do a Control-C, Control-V. It wasn't able to do that. I had to right-click and do paste specifically. So that would just kind of interrupt my flow. In addition to that, I don't currently have a terminal on here at all. I just don't have a terminal emulation program pretty much at all on this computer. So yeah, I'm actually pretty worried about my own environment when it comes to taking this test. In addition to that, I think I'll have to clear out this whole room of pretty much everything, just take everything in this room and put it in the other room. So I'm pretty concerned. Oops, and I'm absolutely cold right now. Oh. Alright, this will help. Okay, so let's go ahead and read all this. So understanding multi-protocol BGP. Multi-protocol BGP, MPBGP is an extension to BGP that carries BGP, that enables BGP to carry routing information for multiple network layers and address families. MPBGP can carry the unicast routes used for multicast routing separately from the routes used for unicast IP forwarding. To enable MPBGP, you configure BGP to carry network layer reachability information (NLRI) for address families other than unicast IPv4 by including the family INET statement. To enable MPBGP to carry NLRI for the IPv6 address family, include the family INET6 statement. On routers only, to enable MPBGP to carry layer 3 virtual private network, VPN, and LRI for the IPv4 address family, include the family INET-VPN statement. For routers only to, okay, a lot of this is just self-evident by what the actual command says, so this documentation just seems like a long-winded, unnecessary, self-evident restatement of what it says in that command itself. Okay, so those commands correspond to actual routing tables. So I think that definitely was my problem last night, is that I was using the wrong families in the wrong cases. So it wasn't installing in the correct table. I definitely think that was the problem. So let's, yeah, I'm having a lot of trouble letting this go because it's just, it was so close to working. I thought, like, really, and I want to understand why it wasn't working, because I have a feeling what's going to happen if I just leave it is I'm going to sit down during the exam, I'm going to do a show route hidden, and I'm going to basically be left with this exact situation that I'm left with right now. Basically, I'm going to see this exact scenario on the exam, and I'll basically just have to say, well, I don't know how to resolve it because I sat down during my lab and I couldn't figure it out. So why don't I just take, right now we're at the 12-minute mark with this video, why don't I just go for an hour, and this will be the third video in the last topic, and then I'll switch over to the topic at like 9 o'clock. Okay, so we do need our routes in the inet.3 table in order for them to use the label switch path. If they're not in the inet.3 table, they won't use the label switch path. So okay, so I'm tempted to just set it back how it was in the lab. Yeah, so we're gonna go full in. So this is the third video here. We'll get to the next topic shortly, yeah, I'm having trouble letting this go because I know if I let it go, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna sit down during the exam, I'm gonna see this exact same scenario, and I'm just gonna have to be like, well, I couldn't figure it out in the lab, so I can't figure it out here and get no points. So, okay. Alright, so now let's think carefully about what all these family statements are doing, and then let's go and change them so that they match the actual documentation. So we've got a BGP group, we've got two BGP groups, one where we only have one neighborship, and one where we have two neighborships. So this is going to be a internal PGP group, so it's only going to be an AS200, and it's going to be a full mesh of peers belonging to the VPN. So these are peers that have this customer provider VPN instance configured. So let's check out that instance on router 3. Okay, so it doesn't. This does not have that instance configured, which is surprising. Oh, I see. So, okay, so the naming doesn't matter across the. It's just local to the device. So these are basically the same routing instances. They're meant to interoperate with each other. The difference is that they're using a customer and a parent. So this is a customer provider VPN. If I do a show configuration, oh, yeah. So these are basically similar. Yeah, they're similar here. It looks like there's an extra command on this one. This one has an import statement. Sorry, an export statement. So yeah, these are meant to be the same. So, and of course there's meant to be another one on R8. We'll get to that one eventually. For now, let's reset this back to what's in the documentation. Okay, so in the documentation here, we can see we have, oops, so this is for, yeah, so, wait a minute, I'm really confused. Okay, I'm getting confused. Let's roll this back. Okay, so we're on router 1. Let's do a show pipe display set. Pipe more. So we have, I saw the parents. What is, oh, I see. So yeah, the naming kind of threw me off. So yeah, we've got so we've got a group because we've got a child VPN we can think of here, and then we've got a parent VPN. So we're gonna peer with those parent VPN. So here we should have a group that says child VPN peers. Nope, we've got a group that says parent VPN peers instead of. So the naming is absolutely confusing. Really poor naming choices by the documentation here. The naming does make a lot of sense because we're peering to the parents, which are going to be R3 and R4. But here the documentation makes absolutely no sense because we're not just peering to the other parent, we're also going to peer to the child. Okay, so with that in mind, I might go my own way and make my own group names, just because this is so confusing. So, yeah, let's just go with the name VPN peers. So what I'm going to do is edit protocols BGP group here, and then we're going to do show pipe display set relative. Okay, and then we're going to do a up. We're going to delete group. There we go. I'm going to do edit group VPN peers. So that's a much better naming. Makes things much easier to think about. Yep, and now we're going to have this. We're going to have this. That's the easy stuff. Now where it gets more complicated is the families that we're enabling. We'll just go with what they have in the documentation, but we might need to play around with it some more. So here we're going to have our labeled unicast traffic go into the inet.3 table. I don't think that's accurate. I think it needs to be in a different table. I think our unicast might need to be in the inet.3 table so that it can use those LSPs. We don't need our labeled unicast to use the LSPs, but I don't know for sure. I'm very confused. I don't understand. So hopefully we'll find out, and we'll find out soon so I can move on to the next topic. So this looks good to me. Let's do a commit on that. And let's just worry right now about the VPN peers. So yeah, so we're just gonna think about the VPN peers. So I'm tempted to just get rid of this one for now. Yeah, let's just get rid of that one for now, just for simplicity's sake. We'll have to go back and add it later. So let's make a checklist. Okay, and this is on my second screen, but we've got add okay, so I've got that in another screen. For now, we're gonna delete this to make it more simple. Okay, so now let's take a look at the actual routing instance, because that BGP is just the connection between these routing instances, so that these routing instances themselves have problems. Clearly there will be problems. Okay, so here's the configuration for the VPN, and then here's the configuration to peer with the other VPN. So it's called VPN peers, and we're peering with both other VPNs. And now here's where things get tricky. Okay, so let's go and clean up the naming so that it's easier to work with on the router 3. And we'll get rid of the direct peer there as well. Okay, so now it's where things get tricky. I'm going to look at the documentation and see what it says for the families that are enabled for this. Okay, so we've got family iNet unicast, looks good. It has to match what it is on the other side, so actually I didn't need to check the documentation. I could just see what's on the other side, but I wanted to just because things are so unusual for me right now. I just want to kind of have things make more sense. Okay, so everything looks good here. Let's see what it looks like as compared to the other side. So as compared to the other side, we're good to go. Our family statements are good. We've got a local address set. We've got our neighbors. So now this naming makes a lot more sense because we're peering to both child and VPN and parent neighbors. So let's look at I can't think of what else I wanted to look at. Oh, okay. Let's look at the actual routing instance now. So it should say parent. Oh, okay. Well, it's going to be. I wanted to look at the routing instances configuration. Oh, there's no. What happened to it? Did I delete it? I want to look at this. Oh, this isn't the. Wait, what? I wanted to look at. Wait, there's no routing instance on this? Okay, that's completely. Okay, I did not think that would be what would be true. I thought there'd be a routing instance here. So yeah, that really threw me for a loop here. Because I thought there was a parent routing instance on. Yeah, because here we can see parent VPN peers. So I thought the parent VPN would be on those peers, but clearly there is no parent VPN here. There's no VPN configuration at all. So I wonder if maybe that's what the problem is. They forgot to include the VPN configuration on those. But I'm really not comfortable enough with this material to say. But to me that makes sense. You would need a, unless maybe your eBGP configuration includes that, and you don't need an actual. So we've got send PE. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, see now here's a problem, I think. We've got, well, no. We are gonna have this route. Because we're forming a neighborship to that. So we are definitely gonna have that route. And then we are gonna send that route. I think the problem is that there's no parent VPN configured anywhere. Because there's meant to be a child VPN. And then there's meant to send traffic to a parent VPN peer, but there's no parent VPN. Yeah, I think there's meant to be a, just like as we were talking about how there's a front door to the customer. So this is between ASs here. There's got to be a front door to the AS as well, right? And then it's going to take it out of there, advertise it over here, and then take it over to the other customer. Yeah, so I'm gonna go my own way and try that. I don't know if it's going to be correct or not, but I think that's what's going on. Is there's no parent VPN. So let's take a look at the naming for the VPN on router 1. Yeah, customer provider VPN. So I think a better name Yeah, there's no parent VPN anywhere. There's only one VPN configured. It's configured on router 1 and then router 6. We don't have an additional VPN. So let's try this. We're going to go on router 1 and we're going to rename the VPN. So show pipe display set, pipe match, routing instances. Okay, and then we're going to do edit routing instances, customer provider VPN. Okay, perfect. Show pipe display set relative. Delete. Yes. Up. Edit. And now we're going to rename this to child VPN. I think, assuming this is meant to be the child VPN, I'm thinking it's meant to be it could be the parent VPN for all I know. I have no idea. But yeah, we'll just try it named a child VPN, and okay, yeah, of course it's going to be the child VPN because we're exporting child VPN routes. So, yeah, and of course the namings don't matter at all as far as the technology is concerned. It's just when it comes to the implementation of the technology, you know, that's everything that matters to the umpteenth degree. So those namings are going to help the administrator implement the technology properly. So the namings are really, really important. I would say one of the most important things you can do in your configurations is have good namings. But that's not enough. You also have to implement the configuration properly, regardless of what the names are. Okay, so let's see here. So yeah, now we've got this called child VPN, and then we're exporting child VPN routes in there. Before I commit, I'm going to take a look at this. Okay, so any BGP routes we're going to be accepting into our oh, that's weird. Why are we? Oh, I see. Because this is what we're sending to the customer. Yeah. So I think I'm going to rename this again. I'm going to say child VPN to PE. Make it extra super clear. And you can see the display set relative makes it really easy to just rename things. Okay, and I'll use an underscore here so it's even more clear. So child VPN to CE. That's good to me. Okay, so yeah, that looks good to me. I'm going to commit that and take a look at the active configuration instead of the candidate configuration. Oh, god damn it. No. Oh, there's a duplicate. Okay, well, what does that mean? Oh, you know what? I think I forgot to delete the... Yeah, when I did this, I forgot to delete the old one. Okay, but that's easy. There we go. Okay, so now I've got my child VPN with the extra label to know that it's going to the CEs. So, yep, now this makes a lot more sense. We're gonna send the child, well, actually, no, this is wrong now because these are going to be the parent VPN routes because these are the routes we learn from the parents. So this naming is completely wrong. It's got to be Yeah, it's got to be parent VPN routes. Yeah, because anything we learn from the BGP protocol is going to be learned from the other side, from the parent VPN. So this is, the naming is completely wrong. This is what we're going to be advertising to the customer, is the stuff we learned from the parent, and then the stuff that we are going to be sending out to the other parents, that's going to be in this VPN export policy. So these are going to be OSPF routes. Yep, from protocol OSPF. Okay, so I'm going to say, I'm going to rename this to, so edit. There we go, and then we're going to do up. And then we're going to do delete. Okay, and now we're going to do edit. Okay, so we're going to rename this routes from parent VPN. Make that nice and clear. So these are going to be protocol BGP routes, and we're going to accept them really nice and clear. Okay. Routes from parent VPN. Yeah. So now let's even. Yeah, I'm not sure what this import policy is for. Oh yeah, what the hell is this for? Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this import policy because I don't know what this is for, and it's just making things a lot more confusing. Okay, so let's read this. It should be a lot more easy to read now that we've got proper naming. So yeah, we've got good descriptions here. I might even want to say 2R02 CE link, core link. That might make that even easier to read. You know what? I think I'm going to do that just because I want it to be as easy to read as possible. Okay. Okay, so that should be a lot easier to read now. We've got this, which is customer facing, and this, which is core facing. So our core facing route needs to go into RSVP. It needs to get added to MPLS, which it is here, just because we've got interface all. I'm going to clean that up to make it easier, I think, to deal with. Okay, and then we're just going to be adding the core interfacing link to MPLS. That's the only one that's necessary. We don't even need the family MPLS from the customer facing one. Okay, so let's delete family MPLS from the customer facing link. Okay, so that should be good. Okay, so we've got, yep, we don't need family MPLS from there. We do need it for the core interfacing link because that's the link that gets added to RSVP and MPLS. Let's add LO0 to there as well. I'm not sure if it's needed or not, but let's add it. Okay, so now where things get interesting. We're going to hook up to our VPN peers. So, so we should have a, yeah, so our VPN peers, oh, this just can actually be a better, a better name. It can be same AS VPN peers. So it can be local VPN peers. So I'm gonna rename that. Yeah, naming is the most important thing you can do to properly configure something. Otherwise, it's just too complicated. Okay, so let's take another look at the candidate configuration. Okay, so everything here looks good so far. Yep, so now we've got okay, so we've got better naming. So this group is local VPN peers. We're going to be peering to these parent VPNs. So yep, that looks good. We only need our core links in OSPF because remember this, basically all of this configuration here could belong under set routing instances and then default instance. So you can basically think of this configuration, this protocol's configuration, as if it were under its own routing instance. And this is for the core-facing link, so it's going to have a lot more configuration. The customer-facing link is going to be a lot more stripped down. All we need is a OSPF connection to the customer. Okay, so the core-facing link looks good. It's going to be, yeah, so we're going to be peering up with our local VPN peers. So here's just the definition of the policy statements. Looks like all we've got is yeah, so the routes from the parent VPN are going to be coming into our routing instance here, child VPN to the CE, and it's going to be learned from protocol BGP. So we'll be exporting routes from the parent VPN to OSPF. So I forgot to change the name of the policy when it's being called. I only changed it when it's being defined. So let's change it. There we go. Okay, so now let's print that out again. Okay, so now we're gonna export routes from parent VPN out to the customer. Those are routes we learned from the parent VPN. We're also going to what else are we going to do? I'm confused. Oh yeah, we're also going to export routes out. Yeah, so we can rename this to routes from customer. We're gonna export that out. So let's do that. Oh, instead of delete, I need to make it easier to, yeah. Oops, and I forgot to do the delete. There we go. Okay, so, I actually forgot to change where it's called. I only changed where it's defined. Yep, so where it's called is right here. Let's change that next. Okay, so yep, so now we're exporting the routes from the customer to the child VPN, um, and then we're exporting the routes from the parent VPN to OSPF. And this is a little bit misleading because um, these routes are going to be from the child VPN. It's just they were learned from the parent VPN, but they're in the child VPN right now. So you know what? I think it's worth it to change that just to make things clearer. Let's do that. So we're going to do edit policy statement, routes learned from parent VPN. Okay, so now we've got our routes learned from parent VPN. They're going to be BGP routes. So we're going to export those into OSPF, and then routes from customer are going to be into our child VPN instance, and then those will automatically exchange out. Yep, and we got our customer-facing interface in the VPN to the CE. So yeah. I think everything looks good to go on here. Yeah, it's ready for a commit. Let's try it. Whew, what a nightmare. Yeah, this is completely different from how it was in the configuration, but I think this is going to work, and we might even be able to get egress node protection on here. Okay, so let's definitely use this as a template now. Oh, and we're missing the peer, the end-to-end peer as well. Okay, so yep, that looks good. Let's use this as a template for the next one. And before even opening that, okay, so yeah, we're good to go. Let's work on router 3. So router 3, I think in the documentation, they won't be having traffic engineering. Oh, I think on one of these they left off traffic engineering. Oh no, they didn't. It was just me. It was my bad. Okay, well that's fine. Yeah, and on the other side they're using ISAS, not OSPF. So yeah, I fat fingered left off traffic engineering on router 3. My bad. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to discard those changes. Okay, I wish I could type. See, this is what bothers me about the exam too. This keyboard kind of sucks, and like my trackpad doesn't even work anymore, and like I'm gonna take a an exam on this, like really. So I mean, I can use my work computer. But even then, you know, that has its own issues because, you know, somebody might be contacting me from work while I'm taking the exam, and oh man, it's just a bad situation. Taking it on site, I think I would have preferred to do, but oh well. Okay, so next step, we're gonna be, what are we gonna be doing for the next step? I can't even think about it. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to be making parent VPN. Let's not worry about the that sort of configuration. I don't even think we'll need to worry about any of this. Yeah, let's keep the MPLS up though, because might need to think about that. We're definitely going to be configuring local VPN peers. VPN, let's not think about that for now either. Yeah, we're definitely going to need policy statements, all that sort of thing. So yeah, here we go. So let's focus in on this. Let's start with the BGP group. So we've got two groups on here. We can get rid of the group to, yeah, we can get rid of the eBGP group right now. That's going to be really easy. I have a good understanding of that. It's just the VPN stuff that's getting me right now. So we don't need to worry about it peering up to the other side. You know, the whole, I think it's from the Bible or something. Take the flake of something out of your own eye before helping someone else. So we're going to do that concept here and take care of our own AS before helping the other AS. Okay, so now we've only got the one group. Yep, we've got the naming needs to change. So let's do that. Perfect. Okay. All right, excellent. So, okay, and now we're going to need to set up the families the way they have it in the documentation. So let's take a look at that. R3, and this is yeah. There we go. Okay, so we've got it set up the way we've got it in the documentation. So, yeah, I think that's good to go. Yep, so we've got local VPN peers. Yep, we're peering to both the child VPN and to the parent VPN. So yeah, so let's do edit routing instances, show pipe display set relative. So here's where I think it was funky business. I think you're gonna need another routing instance here. So let's create one. Edit routing instances, and it's gonna be parent VPN to AS 300. There you go. Yeah, that looks good to me. Okay. So yeah, and then it's going to be the same as was here. Okay, and then we need the interface facing here. It's going to be G1. Okay, and now here's where it gets interesting, these export policies, and then here's where it gets interesting again, because we're going to need eBGP here. So, oh, but this is not interesting. This has to be the same as well. Okay, but that looks good to me. Let's do a show pipe, show display set relative. Okay, so we should have a actual connection now. Let's do a show pipe display set pipe match group. Yeah, and we should be able to peer with the local VPNs. So yeah, I think it looks good to me. Yeah, like what would be? Okay, so we don't have these policy statements anymore, so I think I'm going to get rid of those. Yeah, so I'm going to get rid of those for now. Okay, so I see. Oh, right, because the core facing interface needs to be in here. And it's got a different metric so that it uses a particular entry point to AS300 from AS200. Okay, so this is going to be contentious as well. We're going to use different naming, all of that, so we'll simplify that. Okay, this is where things get interesting here. This, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe that didn't work. Get rid of this just to make it a cleaner, easier config. Okay, so we've got our core facing interface. So let's do core facing. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so here we've got our parent VPN, which is facing 300, AS300. We've got our core facing link 000. So yeah, everything looks good to me. We've got a full mesh to our local VPN peers. Yeah, we've got our, yep, okay, so yep. And then this all is going to be contentious. I'm not sure what's required there, but hopefully we'll figure that out. We've got a label switch path to router 1. Oops, so it looks like we've got an issue here now. We won't need the interface that belongs to the custom routing instance to be used in the default routing instance. Likewise, we'll clean this one up. Okay, next step is going to be yeah, let's get a cleaner candidate configuration. Okay, and we'll add the loopback address as well. Okay, so that looks good to me. If this commits, we should have a neighborship coming up. We should have OSPF neighbors, we should have RSVP neighbors. I mean, that didn't even change. But let's check the BGP neighborship, because if that is working, all that other stuff is working as well. Looks like it's not working. Oh, that's interesting. We've got both of our... Okay, but... Okay, you know what? I think it's just going to take a little time to come up. Okay, so yep, this is what I expected. We've got one that's established now, but the other one we're still working on. Okay, so let's grab this config now that it's nice and clean and work on the other one. Okay. Oops, one thing, I could have cleaned it up even more. We don't need family MPLS on the other facing one. Okay. Okay, so this looks good enough. Let's go and check out the other side of the other parent VPN within AS200. Oh, I wasn't expecting them to have the same metric because I thought it was gonna pick one over the other. That's surprising to me. Okay, so then we're gonna rename this to local VPN peers. Alright, and yep, it's gonna be acquiring as different. Oh man, this is rough. Oh, that's all completely backwards. Oh wait, never mind, no it's not. Because these are opposite from one another. Okay, so all our core facing links are added. We're missing L0. I'm not sure if that's necessary or not, but I'll just add it. Okay, core facing links though look good. Yep. Then we've got local VPN peers, looks good. So yep, all we're missing now is our parent VPN. Yep, it's gonna have 0 in it. It's gonna have .9. Yeah. Perfect. Oh. Okay, so after I commit this, all my neighborships should be up. All right, looks good to me. And now, not only that, I should be able to learn actual routes. So let's go to router 1 and take a look at the route. Okay, I'm wondering if maybe the config was blanked out. I did do a write, but maybe for some reason the config got blanked out. Nope, it's still there, so I'm not sure what was happening to the 192.0.2.1 route. Oh, here it is. So it's learned through OSPF, but for some reason it didn't make it into the parent VPN, or sorry, the child VPN. Okay, and that's because we've got no import policy, so it's not able to make it inside of the child VPN, so let's set up that. Oh, you know what? So I think this was just meant to be an import policy because it's meant to go into the VPN. So we can delete this. Oh man, I'm in a lot of... Oh, yeah, I'm starting to get kind of hungry, so... Oh, I see. Wait, I'm confused. Oh, I don't have this defined anymore. Oh, no, I do. Well, that's strange because it does have a... So, VRF import policy permits accept action only if matching conditions contain a target community, which it does contain a target community right here. Wait, I'm confused. It says that it does contain a target community. So why is it not? Okay, well, anyway, hopefully it's clear where my mind was going with this. So that'll help for me to understand whether I was right or wrong uh, later on, hopefully. Um, so I can't do an import policy here. And it says I can't do that because oh, I see. So wait, is it meant to be an export? Oh, yeah, I don't want to roll back one. Okay, so yeah, let's change this. Yeah, here we go. So we've got a export policy. Okay, so we should have an import policy as well. Yeah, and we can call this yeah, so let's rename this to send routes from customer. Okay, so our routes learned from parent VPN. Okay, so send routes from customer. This is going to be export. We're going to say another one, and it's going to be accept routes from customer. Okay, that should do it. Oh, I forgot to. Oh, well, let's see. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so accept routes from customer. So is there protocol VPN? Oh, yep, I did forget the VRF's import statements. Perfect, okay. Yes. Oh, what the hell? No. Oh, what happened? Oh, I see. I did a second export statement instead of an import. Okay, yeah, and that's what I was expecting. Maybe I've just got these flipped for some reason. I'm just imagining it incorrectly. So let's try this as an export. And then let's try the other one as an import. Oh, so now we've got two imports. Okay, so we're going to import this accept routes from customer. Okay. Oh, sorry, we're going to export that. And then we're going to import send the routes from customer. So the naming's kind of weird, but we've got the target community, which is required for imports. Ah. So import only if matching conditions. So send routes from customer. Send routes from customer. So yeah, we don't have a matching condition. We have a then we're adding the community. So I think I did it right. How it was originally. I just need to add a matching condition. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so the import policy is going to be accept routes from customer, but we're going to need to edit this policy so that it's includes a community, because that's required for it to work. Okay. All right, and then the export policy is going to be send routes. Okay. So import, accept, yep, send. Okay. Okay, so we still got problems here. We don't have the VPN table because there's nothing being loaded into it. Yeah, so right now we're loading in any route learned via OSPF that is tagged with this community string, but we're not tagging it with a community string unless it's been exported. So this will work if the other side were sending us routes, but if we want to send routes to the other side, that's not going to work. Okay, so let's set up an import policy on this side. So, wait, I'm so confused because we should be accepting, right? I don't understand. I just don't understand. And it's almost 10 o'clock. I have to be moving. I can't get frozen. Now, what I don't get is, oh, maybe this was the problem the whole time. It looks like I've got the target flipped by accident. That might have been the problem the whole time. Oh my god, that would be a disaster if that was the problem the whole time. Is that meant to be flipped? I don't think that's meant to be flipped. I think it's meant to be 200:1. Let's see if it's flipped on the other one. Oh my god, that would be a disaster if that was the problem the whole time. Okay, so it seems very deliberate that they're flipping it because they did it on both sides. Okay, so here's the true test. So on rudder 8, we're gonna have everything. Wait, rudder 8 or is rudder 7? Or is it rudder 6? No, it's rudder 6. It's rudder 6. So we have things come in here as per the import policy. So if it comes in, if it's a OSPF route, it's going to come in and then it's going to get added here, which is going to give the target 1:300. So wait, what? This is so messed up. Yeah, I think this is absolutely screwed up. I think either this doesn't have to be flipped, or they're meaning 1:1:200 here, because we're trying to import it from the other side. This is completely messed up. Either they fat fingered it and flipped it and did it consistently on both sides, or they fat fingered it and they meant to do 200 here and then 300 for R1. Yeah, this is completely wrong in every way, shape, and form. They just didn't do this right. Like, whoever wrote this documentation might have some kind of drinking problem. Maybe it's opioids. Probably opioids. All right, so let's go ahead and fix this. I think what it has to be is just they flipped it, they fat fingered flipped it, but they did it consistently for both. So let's unflip it. Okay, well, that's surprising. I was expecting it to be better now since it's unflipped. Because if we look at the... Oh, shoot. Yeah, if we look at the routing instance and we look at the... So basically, I'm expecting the OSPF route that belongs to the routing instance. Yeah, so I'm expecting this route here to belong to an actual VPN VRF table. So it does belong to a custom routing instance inet.0 table, but it doesn't belong to a VPN table, which I guess it maybe doesn't need to. Okay, but let's look at this side. Okay, so we don't have any of the import statements or anything like that here. So let's try that. Okay, and it's almost 10 o'clock. I think at 10 o'clock I'm gonna cap it and just say, you know, I'm throwing in the towel. I don't understand, you know, how this works, and then hopefully I'll be better informed when I move on to the next topic, because right now I feel a nagging feeling in my chest that, oh no, I'm behind, because I was meant to be working on internet connections from a L3 VPN instead of this. So I'm really having trouble getting over that nagging feeling. At the same time, I think I'm kind of getting a better sense for what's going on here. So I don't want to give up, the better sense for what's going on. But at the same time, I don't want to lag behind, and it's the day before the test and I haven't studied half the material. Okay, but let's try some export policies, or some import policies. So let's take a look at what this side has. Okay, so it's going to be from protocol. Okay, so I think we just need this. So we're going to do accept routes from child VPN. Okay, and then we're going to say, yep, anything from the, because if it's exported from the child VPN, it'll be tagged with this community string. Oh, there's a dash. Okay, so we're importing routes from the, oh, I forgot the term 1 on this. Okay, so import accept routes from child VPN. So child VPN, all routes exported from that are going to be given a special tag. Yep, going to be added this community string. So target :200:1. It used to be :1:200, but changed it. So yeah, let's add let's add this. Okay, that should be it. Okay, so the import policy didn't work, but I mean that makes sense because it didn't work here either. We didn't actually get any routes in an actual L3 VPN. It just landed in a inet.0 table here. So Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just super confused. We've got 2 minutes until 10 o'clock. This video is going on 2 hours, and I haven't even started the next one yet. So I think this is going to be it for this video. I think it's good to play around and kind of try to figure things out on my own, but I just got to throw in the towel and move on to the next topic. But the good news is the next topic is very closely related to this one, so hopefully I'll be able to have a better sense of what's going on by moving on. All right, thanks for watching, and very shortly I'm just going to have some lunch or some breakfast and stuff, and then I'll be right back to moving on to the next topic for real this time.